Hey guys, what's up? It's Megadan29, and you're watching Captain Algebra. Mega Powers Unite! Hey
Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and I'm here with all the Genesis pickups from September of 2022. So I did not expect this to be a pretty big month because the previous month I had gone game hunting with Chris Pico, Tiger Chainsaw, and Ryan, It's Rocket Sauce from the Cartridge Club. But things did happen. At that point, after I believe my last update, I was 8 games away from 400, and I wanted to reach that. So I saw an ad on Facebook of a local game store that had got a game in that I really wanted. And so I went there and was looking for it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm close to 400. Let's just go for it. So I got a bunch of games. And then later in the month, Chris Pico decided to come back to Wisconsin. He had some credit left for Freak Toys in Sheboygan. And I was like, yeah, let's go. So I picked up more games there. So only 2 stores, but we got quite a bit. We're actually going to start in reverse order. We're going to go with the stuff that I got most recently when Chris came back to Wisconsin. So this time I went with Chris again, Ryan again, but this time TJ Kitsune. And we'll start with just the sports games I grabbed. You know, we like to do that first. We've got IMG International Tennis Tour. We've got NHL 94. I heard that's like the best NHL game. It seemed all right. And then College Slam, which I had no idea that College Slam was like NBA Hang Time and NBA Jam, except with college teams. So I was super stoked to realize that, because that's a lot more fun than just a regular college basketball game. All right, so now all this stuff is what I just grabbed. We went to Freak Toys again in Sheboygan. We went to Press Start Games in Appleton. We went to the Pad in Appleton. And we went to... what was that last one? Gaming Generations in Sheboygan. And this time I think I bought something. I bought something at 3 of the places. I did not buy anything at the Pad this time. So first of all, we got World Trophy Soccer. And I'm gonna show you this real quick. Look at that picture. Does that not look like White Goodman from Dodgeball? Like, that's definitely where they got the inspiration for White Goodman. So Ben Stiller, if you're watching this, come on, tell us the truth. This is where they got it from, right? Yeah, because Ben Stiller's watching me. So I thought that was hilarious. Then we got Columns 3. Where the hell's Columns 2? I got Columns 3, but I don't think there's a Columns 2. It's super weird. But anyways, this one also has a funny thing on the front. If you look at that little guy just sitting there, dude looks super happy and way too happy to be playing Columns 3. I don't like Columns. And you know what? I don't like Columns 3. This one is definitely more of a party game almost, because you are going against the computer and you can kind of like send blocks to the other person, but you can also obviously play with 2 people, or you could have 4 or 5 players simultaneous. Yeah, still doesn't make Columns 3 any better of a game, but I needed it. Then I grabbed the Duel Test Drive 2. I had no idea that the Test Drive series started this early. I thought that was more of like a PlayStation. So this is kind of like you're in the front seat of the car and you're driving and you're dueling against another car. You're head to head. What's super cool about this is super complete. It says free poster on the inside, and it has the poster. It also has some ads for some other games that were from Accolade, which came in these cardboard boxes, which was super cool. And then we grabbed Starflight, which I know is not a game I'm going to be really that into, right? It's super involved. It's got one of those huge manuals that some of these EA games had. But the reason I grabbed this was because this game was about $20 cheaper than I normally see it. Now, the box wasn't in the greatest condition, so I actually changed this. I think this was what Lotus Turbo Challenge was in. I was like, I care more about Starflight than the Lotus Turbo Challenge, but it's definitely super interesting. Like, you're on a ship, and you have to create a crew, and create what their jobs are and stuff, and then you just kind of explore planets, and it's so involved. I just scratched the surface, but it could possibly be pretty interesting. I just really don't want to read the manual. That's super thick. And then we got Dashin' Desperados, which is a super cool 2-player racing game. I mean, you can race the computers, or you could race another player. But basically, you're just going through a level, I believe chasing after Jenny, a girl you're both interested in, and you're like rivals going after her attention. But basically, you're dashing through these levels, and there's obstacles, there's different routes you can take, and it actually seems pretty fun. So I was very excited to pick that one up. And then finally, the last one I picked up on that trip around Wisconsin was Strider Returns. So I have Strider, and I did not know there was a Strider Returns. What's really weird is this one was made by US Gold, which the first Strider was not. This definitely seems to play just like it, but it just seems slower. So I think there's a reason that I never heard about this game. I don't think it's as good as the original Strider. Not that I like Strider that much on the Genesis, from the little bit I've played. But this, again, the reason I picked this up is because this was super cheap. This was, again, 10 to 15 bucks under what it goes for. And the card has some, like, electrical tape. I think it was a rental at one point. But honestly, for being that much cheaper, I really don't care. The game plays. The case on the outside is in really good shape, so that's good. All right, so now on to the rest of the stuff. This came from Video Game Exchange in Madison, Wisconsin. This is where I went first. And this is where there was a game that I really wanted, and you'll find out at the end. So first of all, I did grab Arcade Classics, which has Missile Command, Centipede, and Pong. So some classic arcades, right? It's called Arcade Classics. I honestly am not a huge fan of any of these games. Pong is just kind of boring. Centipede is okay. Missile Command's pretty fun. I would say out of the 3 games, that's definitely the best one on here. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. None of them are that great. I guess I didn't really grow up playing those games, and so they're kind of boring to me, but needed it. Next, we've got Steel Talons. This is one of those games I always see all the time. It's super cheap, but I never grab because I know it's one of those like simulator type games. You're in the cockpit of a helicopter and you got some missions to go on. But this is actually more fun than I thought. The only problem was it was kind of hard to control, to like figure out how to like go faster and turn instead of just like rotating the plane, if you know what I mean. But it was getting interesting. So I think once I get the controls down, it might not be that bad of a game. Then I grabbed Winter Challenge. So this is very much like Winter Olympics, which I grabbed a few months back. It's just got a bunch of different Olympic events. You know, you got luge, you got bobsled, you got the biathlon, you got the giant slalom, you got ski jump, all that kind of stuff. And this really reminds me of a game we had on the computer as a kid. So it was super cool. To be able to play the game, you had to have this code, but it was different every time. So basically, like, it would told you a country, and you had to like rotate this disc, and you'd find that country, and you'd enter a code. But it was similar like this, where there's all those different events, and this is pretty fun. I think I did biathlon. I don't know why. I always thought that was kind of fun, right? You got to do the cross-country ski as well as the shooting events, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. So I'm actually pretty excited to play that one. Then another one that from EA, that's one of those simulator type games, F117 Nightstorm. Again, it's one of those that I'm not super interested in. I just don't like this style of game very much. And there's a bunch of them on the Genesis, like F-22 Interceptor, F-15 Strike Eagle 2. I don't know, they're just not that fun in my opinion. But what I do like about this game is this is all about flying the F-117s, which are super cool stealth fighters. I remember back in the day, we used to go to Oshkosh. They have an airplane show, and it was always so cool the years that they had the stealth bombers there. They didn't always have them, but every time they had them, I'm like, that is the coolest looking plane ever. And God, I wish I still had like pictures from when I was a kid, and I could show you guys right now. But man, we had so much fun there. I need to bring my kids there once I get a little bit older. Then a game I was actually pretty surprised by, and that's Shove It. So this is just basically a puzzle game where you're a warehouse worker and you just need to move the crates around and get them to certain spots on the map. It's very, very addicting. I'm not very good at it, but it's really fun. Then a game I've been wanting for a while, just never pulled the trigger on, and that is Revolution X. That is the arcade game based on Aerosmith. So it's got like music from Aerosmith and stuff, and basically you're going around like shooting CDs at enemies. You can also shoot guns, It's not that great of a game. It almost seems like you have unlimited lives, because, dude, I died a lot, but I never never had to, like, continue or anything, or game over it. I just kept playing. It's not a great game, but it's cool to have it in the collection. And then probably the one that was most fun that I knew nothing about is Stargate. So what's cool is there was actually 2 copies of this. But for some reason, the owner had this one like $20 cheaper than the other one. And this one is honestly in great shape and it's complete. So I'm like, I didn't even look at the other one. And this is almost like a run and gun shooter. It's super interesting. You like are in this desert and you're going into all these caves and you have to find things. And I was very impressed with this. This seemed like a lot of fun. But yeah, this is surprisingly good. I was very, very impressed. And finally, the game I was super excited to see when he posted this on his website. Like literally, I think it was the next day or 2 days later. It's like as soon as I got a chance to go into Madison, I was like, I need to get this game. He didn't even have it out. It was still in the box. He didn't have a chance to like go through it all. And so he grabbed it, told me what the price was. I'm like, yeah, I'm grabbing it. And that is Echo Jr. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. It's a kid's game. But this is the game that I played back in the day on my uncle's Sega channel. And all my life, I thought this was Echo the Dolphin. So when people would talk about Echo the Dolphin, like in YouTube videos, you know, Video Games Monthly unboxings and pickups, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Echo the Dolphin. I loved that as a kid. It's super easy. Why are people saying it's hard? That's because I played Echo Jr., which is super easy because it's meant for kids. And then when I did get Echo the Dolphin from Video Games Monthly years ago, I was like, wow, this is not the game I remembered. And then I realized, oh, it was Echo Jr. So this is a game I never ever see. So to get it in such good shape, it came with the plastic case already. I was super pumped to finally add this to the collection. It's super easy, but it's just one of those fun games that I'm going to really enjoy playing with my kids down the line. And I honestly cannot wait to stream this. Now, it's going to be a while. We're only in the ends, and I got to get all the way looped back around to the E's. But I think it's going to be pretty fun when we play it. So there you go. There are all the Genesis pickups in September of 2022, which brings our grand total to 412 Genesis games. That's right. I reached 400 and I surpassed 400, which I definitely did not expect. Again, when I went and picked up that Echo the Jr. with all those other games, my goal was to get to 400. And so I basically looked at his shelf and I'm like, I need that, I need that, I need that. And I basically just went for cheaper games because there were some more expensive games I needed. I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on that. And so by the end of that, I think I was at 405 or something, but it was super cool to be like, hey, yeah, you've helped me reach my goal of 400 games. So I don't really have a goal for by the end of the year. I'm definitely going to slow down. I probably won't buy anything in October. Not promising. I might, but we'll see. And then, of course, November, I've got my oldest kid's birthday. And then obviously December, we got Christmas and stuff. So I got other things to buy, and I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know how many more Genesis games I'll be buying before the end of the year. But super cool that I reached 400 already. And yeah, we're well on our way to getting a full set. Obviously, we got quite a bit of expensive games left, but we'll get there in due time. So thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.